Hello all, it's Melinda. Today is day 5 of Load 1017, and today's prompt is I've got a secret favorite food. It says include a recipe. I don't take very many food photos, so I went through my phone and found 3 pictures of food. This is the only 3 pictures that I've taken of food since January. These were taken in the summertime, and I was hoping to print to scrap all 3, but I use PicFrame on my phone to print to my wireless photo printer, and I haven't quite got used to the sizing. So if you have an app that you use to print photos, I would like a much smaller square. But I don't want to reprint them because I don't have the time today. So I'm going to nix the worst colored photo of them all, and it's this one. I'm sad because I like the yellow and the blue together, but the photo's not very, I tried to fix it on my phone, but I took it in the at dark and had the shadow of my, here's the phone shadow and whatnot. So it's not a very good picture. These 2 pictures are better. So, like I said, these are the only 2 photos I have of food. And there's not really a recipe other than these are my summer favorites. So in itself, that'd be a recipe for happiness for me. And I don't really have a plan in mind. I have pulled a watercolor paper that I have primed with clear gesso, and I'm thinking I'll probably do some mixed media is why I did that. And I'm hoping to do my second layout from my secret not secret kit that I got. So I have the embellishments and the smaller word stickers here. So I'm hoping that I can figure something out and use this kit for this layout. I'm going to stick you on fast forward because I have no other plan other than what I just told you. Everything else is I'm going to wing it. See you on the other side. I'm gonna trim my photos because and back them with white cardstock because that's the only thing that I know for sure that I want to do at this point. I just want to create a thin white border around the photos, and I have to cut little slivers off at the end here because they're just a little bit too narrow. I love this cutter for that. It's the Caterpillar Crop. I'm disappointed about not having the yellow photo because summer and yellow seem to go together. So I'm debating here what to do next. I thought about putting stripes at the top and the bottom, but I nixed that idea. And then I think maybe I want to just jut out a piece of paper at an odd angle. And none of these are speaking to me at the moment. That's too bright. That's too yellow. I like this polka dotted one. It seems to add a little bit of fun and whimsy. But I don't like those 2 together because too busy. So I think maybe I'll get a plain colored cardstock from my kit or from my stash that has that same color. I'm really contemplating it, but I look at it now and I think I'm glad I didn't go with it because it doesn't make my food look very appetizing. But I go with it for a little bit. I play with the placement of the photos, trying to figure out the angle of the polka dotted paper. Maybe I want them side by side. I think I like them better overlapping each other. Do I want to cover the point? I almost commit to this. And then I think maybe just a thin border around this white polka dotted paper would be nice. Maybe in yellow. That would add my yellow just a little bit, but I'm not crazy about it. So then I decide I'm going to use that paper from my stash and create a little border around it and go back to the white cardstock. And then I think, do I want to add any of this yellow paper anywhere? Ultimately, no. These end up being the only two pattern papers that I use. I am struggling so much with this that it's driving me nuts. I decide that I'm going to tack this a little bit, but not too much, because I'm going to lift it up and put mixed media after I figure out how I'm going to cut this. It's just too much. I was hoping not to cut with my scissors, big scissors, because I didn't want to have a wonky edge. I wanted a very straight edge, but it wasn't going to work out. At this point, I decide that I'm going to, there's two different color yellows in the polka dots, and I want to try to get as close as much as possible. And I have 4 or 5 different yellows / orangey yellows, mixed media spritzers and paints and whatnot. So I'm trying them all to figure out which one, and so far none of them is working. I made a mess. And then I remember I have this distress marker, and it is mustard seed, and it seems to be the right color. So I'm going to get some packing and scribble on it, and then dribble some water on it, and basically just do the smooshing technique with this piece of packing material. Sort of following the angle of the polka dot paper. That wasn't my intention, but that's kind of how it turned out. I wanted to not have the bright white right next to it. I'm just going to drag it around so it's a little bit lighter on the outside edges of the smushing. And then I think I probably want to sprinkle. So I choose Heidi Swap. I believe this is butter. And I'm going to show you the close-up. I got a little freaked out because of that spot was coming through, but the photo covers it, so I stopped worrying. I stitched along the edge, and I decide the photos are going to go there. It's a little bit warped. I'm going to go through the ephemera and try a few things. I didn't want to add stars, but I have these days of the week almost circles. They're kind of blobs. And I thought, okay, I put them in order. I don't like them on that side. But I thought if I sprinkle them over here, that would add to the idea that I could eat these every day kind of thing. And it also uses them up, because I wasn't sure how I was going to use them. These seem to be more of a Project Life item, and I'm not doing Project Life this year, so I wondered if I could find a way to use this humongous paper clip, but not this layout. I'm liking this light pink. I'm going to leave it there for now. It needs work. I'm going to give up for that at that point and move on to the next thing, and I'll go back to the layering around the photo. These are the thickers that I got in my kit, and I didn't want to bring gold in, so I didn't want to use those. I decide to use this. This is a freckled fawn, and say recipes for my in this kit. Now, they don't love sticking to my mixed media background, so I may have to do something more with those. I want a larger sticker, so I cut one on my silhouette. This is a free one from Paper Issues. It's called, I believe, Lowercase Outline. And I go down this path of outlining them, or putting pen and paper in the outline. I first try it without paper in there, and I don't love it. I want to be able to overlap it, and it just looks, I don't know, confusing when they overlap and there's nothing in the center. So I'll show you this first one. I decide that I'm going to overlap them with random papers. I pull them out of my stack, or out of the kit. The stripe, the yellow, that one, both sides. So I do that. Sorry about the hair. And I get them all done, and I put them on there, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's too dark. Something about them being outlined brought more, I don't know, heaviness to them. So I think if I add more black, maybe it'll work. So I sprinkled the black. While I'm contemplating, I'm going to stick these down because I know about where they're going to go. And I'm going to add some black polka dots around the photo in this tissue paper. And I tried to use as little as possible, and I end up making it too small. So I just add more to this one, and I pull out a brand new sheet of the same tissue paper. I was trying not to pull out a new sheet of it. I put 3 layers of tissue paper because that's all I could get out of that one. Trim it up a little bit. And then I decide maybe I don't need one on that one, but I think it does. So I pull out a brand new section of tissue paper, and I just staple what's there. I think there might be 4 or 5 layers. And I just cut a square. I'm going to wrinkle it so it doesn't look so neat and tidy. Trim that one up a little bit, and I'm going to call that good for those. And then I decide that, yes, I do want to add this pink tag, but I'm going to cut it in like corners so I can have photo corners. And I like that better. Okay, so I now am going to put this out after I pop up this photo. I'm going to commit to the photo placement. The placement of Thursday was giving me a little bit of concern because I didn't want to have trapped space around it and the letters. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to set these all back on here again to see if I like them any better with the rest of the black on there. Overlapping, and I decide that I'm going to need to pop up. I mean, I go all out here. I pop up every other letter, trying to make this work. And there we go, popping the last letter up. And then I get it on there, and I look up at my computer screen, which shows my video playing, and it's just so dark. I do not like it at all. So I scrap them, and I think, oh, maybe I will go with the gold. And those are hazelwood. But I really don't want to add the gold, so I'm going to try one more thing. These are the insides of the outlined letters. And I made sure I could find all the pieces. There's the other S is sitting out on the side. So I'm thinking maybe I could make that work. And I like that much better. Something about it not being outlined seems lighter to me. So I glue all of them down and I think about sewing them, but I don't think I want to add a vertical line there. So I skip that and I decided to just do my journaling. And I remembered that pencil does not erase on gessoed background, so not to use pencil. I'm going to go right for it and write ice cream and chicken fajita. I checked to make sure I was spelling fajita right. What more could a girl ask for? I say it is the perfect summer meal. Just sort of plain and simple. I cut off the excess and I try to tack more things down. I'm thinking that the layers on the photo are missing something. So I try this label and I write first Instapot recipe, because that's what my chicken fajitas were. And I cut out a lot of me trying things. But here are some slow close-ups. And there'll be some still shots at the end. In the end, I like how it came out. It just took me a while to get there. I want to thank you for watching. And please, if you like what you're seeing, mistakes and all, hit the subscribe button. I try to post at least one layout a week. This month you're going to get more than one a week just because it's load and I'm making a layout every day. So some I'm going to tape and some I'm not, depending on the time I have. I'd like you guys to have a wonderful day. Bye.